Hello and welcome back to This Week in New Genre Books. My name is Amelia and from Locus Magazine we're here to tell you about all the new science fiction, fantasy, horror, and related books being published the week of April 15th, 2025. Today is the deadline to vote in the Locus Awards. If you haven't already voted, there's no cost. We want to hear what you think. I'll put a link down below. If you're new here, welcome. We talk about books that are just being published, basically hot off the press. If you've been with us a while, thanks for coming back. We're glad to have you here. Because what's more fun than books? A community that revolves around books. First up, science fiction, we have 4 titles. From Neil Asher, we have Dark Diamond, out from Peer in paperback and ebook. This is a science fiction novel, a first in the world of the Owner trilogy. Forces are trying to kill Space Captain Blight, but he's got a trick up his sleeve. The device he possesses, a dark diamond, always turns back time to a moment before his death. The crab-like Predor are seeking this power for themselves. From Sarah K. Ellis, we have If the Stars Are Lit, out from Luna Press UK in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. This is a science fiction mystery novel. Joss, a woman alone on a damaged starship, struggles to find out who blew up her ship. She needs to reestablish communications, but she starts having hallucinations. The ship's AI creates an AI version of her wife in an attempt to help. From Robert E. Hampson, we have Across an Ocean of Stars, out from Baen in paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a science fiction zombie novel in John Ringo's Black Tide Rising series. When the zombie apocalypse comes to Hawaii, survivors, scientists, ranchers, pirates, and more must struggle to survive and rebuild. From Sayaka Murata, we have Vanishing World, out from Grove Press in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a science fiction novel set in a Japan where married couples no longer have sex, and children are born through artificial insemination. Amane and her husband decide to live in Experiment City, where all children are raised communally without names, and every person is considered a mother. Translated from the Japanese by Ginny Tapley Takemori. Please take a moment for me and like this video. Big thanks to all of our YouTube subscribers. And did you know, Locus is also a monthly magazine that's been around for decades and decades and will tell you way more than anyone really needs to know about books, writers, what's happening now, and what's happening next in the cumulative culture of science fiction, fantasy, and horror publishing. Surf on over to locusmag.com and we'll tell you all about it. Next up, horror, we have 2 new books coming out this week. From Ronald Malfi, we have Senseless, out from Titan UK in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a horror novel with supernatural elements. A woman's mutilated body is found in the desert outside LA. Sundry weird characters, from the detective assigned to the case, to a Hollywood newlywed, to a guy known as the Human Fly, yes, I said a guy known as the Human Fly, are all drawn in. From KT Gwen, we have You Know What You Did, out from Dutton in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. Annie, dealing with her mother's death and spiraling OCD, has dread about horrible things happening. And when an art patron disappears and she wakes up naked in a hotel next to a corpse, she's worried that her fixations are coming true. Next up, fantasy, we have 10 new books to talk about. From Akweke Emezi, we have Somadina, out from Knopf in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a young adult fantasy novel. Somadina and her twin brother, Jayaike, possess magical powers for which Jayaike is adored, and Somadina is feared. When he vanishes, Somadina must track him down, even if it means entering the sacred forest. From Ai Jiang, we have A Palace Near the Wind, out from Titan UK in hardcover and ebook. This is a science fantasy novella, the first in the Natural Winds duology. Princess Liu Lufang is part of a race of tree people. She must marry a human king to stop the threat of expansion. Lufang plans to kill him and end the system of marriages. From Isaac Fellman, we have Notes from a Regicide, out from Tor in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a queer historical fantasy novel. Trans man Griffin, wanting to learn more about his second parents' lives before him, looks into his father's journal, written from a jail cell while he awaited execution. There, Griffin finds a fraught story about wonderful and strange people. From Chelsea Abdullah, we have The Ashfire King, out from Orbit US in hardcover, ebook, and audiobook. This is a fantasy adventure novel, second in the Sandsea trilogy and sequel to The Stardust Thief. Luli, a merchant, is stranded in the realm of Jinn, where the cities below the Sandsea are sinking and war is brewing. From Kevin J. Anderson, we have Horn Dogs, out from Wordfire Press in hardcover and paperback. This is an urban fantasy novel, the 11th book in the Cases of Dan Shamble Zombie PI series. Dan Shamble deals with more eccentric cases in a world where supernatural creatures walk the earth. Except no one has seen a unicorn, and Dan discovers a secret society of Horn brothers who kill them. From Case and Calendar, we have Chaos King, out from Tortine in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a young adult fantasy novel, second in the Infinity Alchemist series. Ash has saved New Anglia, but he's haunted by nightmares of his dead mother trying to warn him of something. Then he's captured by a radical group of anti-alchemist believers who are inspired by his father. From Antonia Hodgson, we have The Raven Scholar, out from Orbit US in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. This is an epic fantasy novel, the first in the Eternal Path series. The Emperor Overrun dies, and contenders compete to replace him. When one of them is murdered, Nima Kra, the Emperor's idiosyncratic high scholar, must find the killer. From Rebecca Eade, we have The Gentleman and His Vowsmith, out from Saga in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. Lord Nick Monteris is trapped in a marriage of convenience with the daughter of his father's rival. Worse, their Vowsmith is his old flame Dashiell. All three of them are confined together and must figure out a dastardly plot. From Andrew Knighton, we have Forged for Destiny, out from Orbit Works in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. This is an anti-heroic fantasy novel. Raoul seems like the chosen one, with a birthmark that looks like the dead king's and a special sword. But on the down low, his determined parents have been preparing him for this. As he sets out to start a rebellion, he starts to wonder if fulfilling the prophecy just means following someone else's path for his life. From W.A. Simpson, we have The Hatter's Daughter, out from Flame Tree Press UK in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. This is a fantasy novel, the third in the Tales from the Riven Islands series. On the night Faith was born, her mother died, but sent her to safety in the realm underneath. The Mad Hatter takes Faith home to raise as his own. When the rot invades the underneath, Faith determines to stop it. Finally, in our mishmash category, where we tell you about the collections, anthologies, and nonfiction, we have 4 new books. From Julia Elliott, we have Hellions, out from Tin House in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. This is a short story collection. It blends folklore, fairy tales, Southern Gothic, and horror, reveling in the collision of the familiar with the wildly surreal. Tales feature a nun working on a forbidden manuscript, a sorceress resisting a shape-shifting professor, and wood-dwelling orphans. From Paul Kincaid, we have Colorfields, writing about science fiction, out from Briardine UK in paperback and ebook. This is a nonfiction collection of reviews and essays on sci-fi criticism. It brings together reviews and essays that look at various histories, theoretical works, biographies, and author studies. From Tony Magistral and Michael J. Bluen, we have King Noir, the crime fiction of Stephen King, out from University Press of Mississippi in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. This is a nonfiction, a critical exploration of the crime and detective fiction of Stephen King, and how the genre, particularly hard-boiled detective fiction, finds its way into King's horror. Includes illustrations and a chapter by Stephen King. From Sophia Ray, we have The Deep Forest, out from Aqueduct Press in paperback and ebook. This is a collection of dark, folkloric short stories that take place in the deep forest, where myths and haunting enchantments abound. Will-o'-the-wisps, dryads, glowing springs, and people who aren't quite human populate these tales. That wraps up this week. Thanks for stopping by to check out these new books that these authors and publishers worked so hard to bring to you. Come visit us over on the socials at Locus Mag or at Locus Magazine. Surf on over to locusmag.com for in-depth book reviews, author interviews, publishing news, and so much more. Locus is a 501c3 nonprofit. If you got it to give, we'll take it. Check out our donation options on our website, visit our Patreon, or tell someone you love about us. Thanks for spending your precious time with us. We'll see you next week with more new books.